All right, now let's get another check of the forecast. Meteorologist Melissa Nord joining us now. Melissa, not only are we tracking this hurricane, Idalia, but we also have our own storms we're dealing with here in the metro.
And rain that faced too much of a good thing in a short amount of time, not a great setup to be dealing with. And we are still cleaning up some of the flooding from overnight in Calhoun. The police department just posted some more photos on their Facebook page. So we got a lot of rain, potentially for some of us to come later on today with more tropical downpours. But I want to brief you on the latest with this hurricane. Winds at the 11 o'clock advisory increased, and that's a trend we're going to see happening with each consecutive advisory we get in here before landfall tomorrow morning. Some of those rain bands are pushing into southwestern Florida. I wouldn't be surprised later on this afternoon if we start to see some tornado watches coming out, because that's a threat with landfalling tropical systems. But landfall going to happen tomorrow morning as a major hurricane somewhere along the Big Bend. Then it makes its way into southeastern Georgia. So although we may not be in the center of the storm, we will still see the impacts far outside of it. So tomorrow will end up being breezy by the afternoon. Some of us will get some of those outermost tropical rain bands, but the really heavy duty stuff, that's not in the cards for us here in North Georgia. South Georgia, yes, big impacts. North Georgia, not so much. So let me show you a couple different models, because there's still some fine nuance differences with where they predict landfall, and that could end up changing how far west we see some of the rain happening tomorrow. This is what we call the high resolution model, the HRR model rather. This has landfall closer to Apalachicola, and that's tomorrow morning at 8:30. Well, our in-house model has that landfall not here, but a little further jog to the east by about 40 miles. And that has it closer at Cedar Keys right here. So it's about Horseshoe Bend. So some small differences in where these models still think that landfall might be, but we do believe it's tomorrow morning after sunrise between about 8 and maybe 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. As it makes its way in, very significant storm surge is unfolding there. But the eye, as it makes its way further inland, that eye wall may kind of go right over the Valdosta area, then travel up closer to Statesboro. But meanwhile, hundreds of miles away from that, we're looking at some of the outermost rain bands that might make their way into northwest Georgia. So we will get a little bit of impacts from Idalia. Not going to be high-end impacts. The tornado threat, the really squally, nasty weather, that's all going to stay east of our area. So tomorrow there will be some rain bands possible, but not everybody is going to see the rain. Rain chance tomorrow for Atlanta, points north and west, about a 30% chance. South and east side of the metro, about 50. Yeah, when you get to Eatonton, down towards Milledgeville, Macon area, that rain becomes likely. And again, that's going to happen afternoon to evening time frame, along with some gusts to about 20 miles per hour. Meanwhile, today, it's a front draped on top of us that's going to be the trigger for more of these pop-up thunderstorms later on this afternoon. There's not much happening right now on radar, but by that evening commute, just like we saw yesterday, these thunderstorms start to develop. They produce really heavy rain rates, and they'll last even past sunset. So that's my concern for later on today. And we got our team of meteorologists tracking these thunderstorms as they do develop. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Rain chances clearing out of here for the holiday weekend. Faith looks pretty nice, just a little hotter for Labor Day, a high of 91.
All right, thank you so much for that. And you'll want to stay weather aware for the next couple of days as we have a lot of these storms moving through. Doing that is as easy as downloading the 11 Alive News app. Just scan the QR code you see right there on your screen to get it for free.